Hello and welcome to Real Hi-Fi Help. Downgrade to improve your sound? Well, that's actually something that happened to my hi-fi friend. This is L-Fidelity RAM blocks that you're looking at, something that filters the RAM for a hi-fi streamer. And let me just explain this. This is very interesting. By the way, I recommend you watching the whole video because just looking at this won't make a lot of sense without me explaining it. So this is very interesting. What I'm about to reveal here has not really been demonstrated before in the streamer world. So this is something that he told to me about a week ago. I find this fascinating, absolutely fascinating. So let me explain. We have the worst streamer quality here, and if we ever wanted to achieve the best possible streamer sound in the world, we would have the bar like up here. So currently he's in his crazy zone where I've never heard any streamer before. He's at around this place up here. And my my streamer is only like down here. Then I have another friend who also has a streamer, which is around this place here. This is very interesting because here we have basically the best streamers in 2020, year 2020. We're around this level here. That's my guess. And, you know, back about 3 years ago when my friend started to build his own streamer, he wouldn't be able to produce a streamer that was at the level that the top streamers are today. You know, these boxes from Awenda and Aurelix and stuff like that, boxes that cost $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. So he started at around this level down here. But later on, this is about 3 years ago, later on he went into this, you know, pretty decent, very good sound, a bit like the one that I have around this area here. It wasn't quite as good as mine, but here he probably around 2 years ago he started getting into this sound here, into the really good streamer sound. So he was stuck. He didn't know what to do. He tried a lot of different things. He was just stuck. And, you know, there's this company that's called L-Fidelity, and they make some, you know, decent products that, you know, produce some good results at a certain level. So yeah, he started using L-Fidelity RAM blocks and an ISO Regen box, which I apparently can't find on the internet, which is weird. And suddenly he went from like this level here to up here. He got a big boost from those products, and the noise went away. It just became a lot more filtered, a lot more pleasant. Yeah, it wasn't quite as you know, violent and released and, you know, fully natural, you know, but he still went, you know, up in quality overall. So all in all, it was a good product. It was a very good fit for that time that he was in. But this is him then about since then, you know, he's then done some crazy upgrades to his system. So he was about a week ago, he was around this place here. But then he removed the L-Fidelity products because all of his system was such a crazy high level that when he removed those filters, those small filters, the RAM, the ISO Regen from L-Fidelity, suddenly he got this giant boost again, you know, from this place to that place. And around here, he just reached an insane level about a week ago. And because of that, he just went away from these products. And it's because he had better LPSUs, better power cables, better LAN cable, better everything around the system. He simply removed all the weak parts And he found out only at this level here does the L-Fidelity products become superfluous. And there's a reason for why they don't cost as much as, for example, the Upton Audio Isorec inbox. You know, there's just a difference of quality. So he, of course, went from L-Fidelity Isorec over to Uptown Audio Isorec. And I just find it funny that he went from good high quality hi-fi RAM that was supposed to be good for audio over to some regular shitty RAM, and it sounded better. You know, I was just amazed by this story. And so let me just give you some context here. Usually with RAM, this is a bit hard to understand. Generally, you want 2 or 4 chips to activate dual channel RAM so that the speed of the RAM can go up to like the double, because generally the higher the megahertz, the better the sound. Plus, you also want the best quality of RAM, so you have a better timing, latency, and so on. Now, something completely new that totally blew my mind, which I didn't really understand until he told me this about a week ago. He told me that is right. This rule still applies, the one at the top, generally, until you reach a level around this area here. When you reach this level, suddenly we have to stop thinking about capacity, but we have to think about quality of RAM, meaning that if you have 2 chips of RAM or more in your PC, that will create a lot of jitter, and that will remove a lot of the immediate reaction from the sound on the streamer. But it's only around this level here. I can't be more specific than that. It's around this level here that we have to focus on actually having less gigabytes of RAM, lower megahertz, but it should be a better timing, better latency. It should use less power. And because of that, because it draws less power and there's only one RAM block or DIMM or whatever you call it, it just gives a more responsive sound, a tiny bit more beautiful, a tiny bit more released. It's still not like a day and night, like, whoa, you know, type of thing. I just thought that, you know, what an awesome kind of artful thing, you know. This is just what's so great about the hi-fi world, is because currently on planet Earth we are living this game where technicians constantly tell us capacity, more watts, revolt this, revolt that, better control, better grip, more linear, stuff like that. And to some degree they are right at a lower level, but you just reach a certain level in hi-fi where it's almost as if the rules of physics almost don't apply anymore. You know, we get into some very strange, weird area where, you know, a lot of different things can happen and it becomes very uncertain. So in this case here, yes, in theory, in theory we could put some very high quality 2 blocks of RAM running dual channel, having a very good timing, latency, and so on. That would be very expensive, but we would have a lot of gigabytes of RAM. It would quickly go through the system. Everything would just be fine and dandy. That could be good, but depending on the make and depending on what you test it together with, if you put it in another test with just one piece of RAM that is perhaps a tiny bit better timing, a tiny bit better latency, but only one chip of RAM, that could sound most likely a bit better, but only when you are on this level. I just found that amazing. And he also told me that that just goes to show, it's like the audio note way of building gear, that we don't want small pieces of filtering in our gear. We want as little as possible of that. But what we do want are these fantastic transformers, these individual big parts that do their job in this very short signal. And if we can ensure that we get these high quality parts in this very short signal, then we don't have to depend on hi-fi gimmicks like hi-fi RAM, or like this iso-regen box from his L-Fidelity that he had before. He still has to use that to some degree, Uptown Audio iso-regen. And I expect, once he's fixed his problems at a higher level, at some point, when he maybe reaches this point up here, maybe he will be able to skip his iso-regen box from Uptown Audio, and then he'll just be able to go with like his SP-diff converter and clock box and stuff like that. I just find this whole thing fascinating. Just fascinating, because there isn't a right and a wrong. There's a right and a wrong in a certain reality. So this isn't a bad product. Quite the opposite. That we needed this product at this time, but when he made this huge jump over to this higher quality system, suddenly this was holding the sound back. We had to get rid of it. And we don't know what's to come from this level where he's on now to what's possibly the best sound in the world. We don't know what the laws of what do you call it, sound universe or whatever, will bring us at this level. It could be that when you go up to this level, we'll have an incredible amount of noise, possible noise we have to deal with. We don't know. These are just the things that we've discovered until now, but I just find that amazing. So, conclusion: if you're messing around with like your own first do-it-yourself streamer, try this L-Fidelity RAM, try the L-Fidelity iso-regen box. It's cheaper, it's a way to get started. It does do some things that are extremely good, especially if your sound is very harsh and it's just pumping out and it's totally out of control. Then wow, fantastic. Put that in, try it. It will most likely do its job. But you just reach a certain level like he did, where it's like, okay, point of diminishing return, get rid of it, and then suddenly it's like woof, woof. You just get an immediate sound going poof, poof, poof. You don't get the negotiation sound, which is like woof, woof, woof. And that's like the big difference between the pretend hi-fi sound and the really good hi-fi sound. So, and also one thing he told me, now I'm remembering it, this is very exciting. He told me that now he has the ability to play full dynamics without any stress, without any shouting, without any bias. That's almost impossible in the hi-fi world. Full dynamics, full smash factor, full resolution, full left to right, right to left way of moving, but without it putting stress on the saxophone or the guitar or the drummer or any part of the structure. The structure is just solid like that. And there's so much time to view everything that's going on. You can just keep on turning the volume up and up and up and up and up and up and up, and it's just solid. But it hits, when a drummer hits the drum, it just goes, but there's no stress. You get the full smash factor. It hits down. There's the full time to observe the detail, and you can kind of go, towards another room and look at it from the side. It's still not shouty. It still won't be like putting a lot of pressure on you and making you stressed. You're getting the full smash factor without the stress of conveying that sound. That's almost unreal. Just think about it. Where have you ever heard something like that in the world? I still, to this day, haven't quite heard that. I've heard that to some degree, but I just find that amazing, because one thing I have to say that I heard a lot in these higher end systems is that as soon as it got really fast and there was a lot of detail, and you got the the full released impact, finally you're getting some released music, finally. But it always came with a lot of stress and not enough time for you to view the detail. And this is the thing that he just realized recently. He told me this over the phone. I haven't, by the way, heard this because of Corona. I haven't been able to visit him. But he told me that you're able to view the entire information without it putting any stress on you. Because normally when you get this type of dynamic, there isn't enough time for your brain to fully understand what's going on, because you're being like pushed against the wall. You're being forced, But there is time. That there's full dynamics and there's maximum detail, but there's time to view it. It's just unreal. It's just unreal. And that's what I don't have at my place, I remember being at his place just around 9-10 months ago. And I remember just at that point there, even though it's only half as good as his system is now, his system was around this point here, I think around here, and I'm still around here. I remember about 10 months ago, him being around this point. And I just remember the insane timing, how everything is just, you're able, it's almost like that there's an unlimited amount of bandwidth and time to observe the detail. You're able to hear the whole damn thing, and it's just so unreal that you're getting that amount of naturality, that amount of detail, that amount of smash factor. I remember it back then when I listened to it. I haven't listened to the newest sound, I'm just going from what he's told me. But I believe him, I believe him, because he has some of the best ears in the business. And I remember just listening to it 10 months ago and just going, I gotta get that timing, I gotta get that pleasant flow that is so hard to get when you're getting like the mid to high level tube, because even that can be a bit hard on the ears and wear you a bit down mentally. It sounds really awesome, but there's still some strain listening to that music. It's a bit harsh, even though it isn't really harsh in the moment. It's hard to explain, but I just thought this is just amazing, and I'm really looking forward to just visiting him when all this Corona stuff is done. But I can't really imagine it getting better than this. I think that, you know, going from here to the best possible sound, I think you can only do that with stuff like, I don't know, audio notes, silver cables all over the place, audio notes, gear that has to couple with audio notes, silver transformers, audio notes, LPSUs, if they ever make that one day. I seriously think that you can't go past this sound that he's achieved. But hey, I think that it would be nice if we can get the the best streamers that we have here in 2020. If we can get it up to at least my streamer size, you know, streamer level here, because it's pretty damn far down the list, the streamer technology we have now. Even when you boost it with some good cables and you do a decent pairing, it's just very locked, very nice, very behaved, very linear. And he also told me a funny thing is that now that he's removed that, you know, when he changes LPSUs, he could have, like, let's just say that this is his streamer here. Let's just say that's his streamer. Now then, because he's done this, removed this L fidelity stuff, now he's got his LPSUs that he thought were like this, linear, whatever you call that, wavy, and then this was perhaps linear, and this was like, you know, not fully releasing the sound. Now he could hear that the true authentic, what do you call it, sound, what they're really doing, you know. And now he can enjoy 3 different LPSUs. 1, 2, 3. Now he can enjoy 3 different LPSUs on a higher level, because before it was like, oh, you know, that's not coming out entirely. Oh, this $500 LPSU is a bit like, it's a bit Macintoshish, and this is like, oh yeah, that's pretty nice, but it's a bit wavy. That's probably like $1,000. But and this is like, I don't know, $1,500 that for that LPSU. But suddenly, you know, when you don't have these brakes on, suddenly all of this becomes redefined. Suddenly all of these bad things are just like different priorities now at a higher level that makes the sound more enjoyable. I just you know, I like thinking about stuff like that. I know it's a bit far out there, you know, I'm not, you know, filming it and documenting it. There isn't an official product that's doing this. I just think, you know, I like to think about stuff like this, you know. I just find it amazing, you know. And, you know, if I was, you know, certified scientist and I had an engineering degree and all of that, you know, I'll probably go a lot deeper into it and try to make it by myself, make these products by myself. But I just find that, you know, fascinating, because when you're dealing with standard streamers down here, it's like, you know, one stock sound going like this, and perhaps a tiny bit like this, and a tiny bit like that. It's just you just can't move the sound. It's like one stock PC sound doing its thing. There's no coupling, there's no anything. But yeah, that's just what I wanted to share with you guys. And remember to like and subscribe. Bye.